Hi everyone, welcome to today's Kevin's physics class. Today our topic will be based on free fall, which is the hypothetical of a fall of a body such as the only force acting upon it is that of gravity. When speaking of free fall, we only assume that there's only forces on the y direction instead of x direction, and we assume that there is no air resistance during the falling process. Therefore, the only force acting on it will be the gravitational force, and the acceleration will be the acceleration due to gravity, negative 9.81. First, what can you think of when you hear the concept free fall? Take this as an example. Is this a free fall? Absolutely not. Free fall means that the only force acting on an object is the gravitational force. So when I just take my hand away and then it falls down, this is a free fall. This is a perfect example of free fall. During the falling process, there's only one force acting on the body, which is the gravitational force, and there's only the gravitational acceleration acting on the body. Let me share a story with you that is included in the Chinese textbook. The story is about famous scientist Galileo. At that time, people all believed in the philosopher Aristotle's ideas. Aristotle once said, two metal balls, one is 10 pounds and one is 1 pound. The 10 pounds ball will drop to the ground faster than the 1 pound ball, and the speed will be 10 times. However, Galileo questioned this idea. He thought that if these two balls were connected with a rope, the slower one may make the faster one slower. However, if we consider them together, they'll be 11 pounds and they will drop down at a faster speed. So there will be two conflicting results. So eventually, Galileo did this experiment on the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and the experimental result shows that the two balls will drop to the ground at the same time, and people therefore believes that Aristotle's ideas are not totally correct. So I will come to this story in the ending. So the two metal balls will drop to the ground together. This story is based on the concept free fall, which is the falling speed of an object will not be affected by its mass or its volume, etc. In order to solve free fall problems, we need to know the Suvat equations, which means S is displacement, U is initial velocity, V is final velocity, A is the acceleration, and T is the time. So now let's look at some questions and try to solve it with this equation.
Now let's look at the question here. A stone is thrown vertically upward. On its way up, it passes through point A with speed v and point B, 7.85 meters higher than A, with speed v over 2. And we need to calculate the speed v and the maximum height reached by the stone above point B. First, let's find out what the speed v is. Let's draw a picture to show that. So the stone is first dropped upwards until point A. So this is point A. And then drop upwards to point B. This is point B. And we know that at A point the speed is v, and at B point the speed is v over 2. And the distance between them is 7.85 meters. So in order to solve this question, we need to use Suvat equations here. Now let's use v squared equals to u squared plus 2s, because this is the only equation we can use here. V squared, as shown, is v over 2, which is the final velocity, by the way, and u squared is v. And we know that A is the gravitational acceleration, which is negative 9.81, and the s, which is the distance, is shown here, 7.85 meters, which is 7.85 meters. And then we solve this question and find out that v is approximately 14.3 meters per second. Now let's look at question B, which is the maximum height reached by the stone above point B. So here let's draw a picture like this. So when the point is going upwards and it comes to B, and then it comes to C point, which is the maximum height. And it's asking us the maximum height between B and C point. So now we know that the final velocity of the stone when it reaches its maximum height will be 0, so that we know V in Stewart equations will be equal to 0. So here let's use the equation again. V is equals to 0. And U at point B, it should be 2 over 0. So use the answer we got in question A, which should be 14.3. And we need to over 2 here and square it, plus 2 times negative 81 times 8i, which we need to find out here. And after calculation, we have found out that S will be equal to 2.61. So therefore, we can get the maximum height between B point and C point. Now, reaching to today's end of physics class, I'm going to tell you that the story I told earlier is actually not exist in reality. Because in reality, there's always air resistance we should ignore in the free falls case. But it's actually a story that tells you some knowledge about physics, isn't it?